Good day to everyone. My name is K.S. Matthew, a professor in the Department of Computer Science, Rajagiri School of Engineering and Technology, Kochi. Welcome to the course EST200 Design and Engineering, Module 2 Design Thinking, Part 1A. Design thinking is a creative approach for problem solving, innovation, and product development. It was considered as relevant only for designers and creative people, and was taught in design schools only. But now people realize that this approach is useful for anyone who is involved in problem solving. Definitely, engineers are problem solvers, and design thinking is applicable for them as well. KTU has introduced this course, Design Thinking, as Module 2 of the course Design and Engineering in S3 in the revised BTech curriculum. Design thinking has become a buzzword in the IT industry during the last 5-10 years. If you observe, you can see that many innovative products come from small startups or student entrepreneurs and not from corporates. All corporates, big and small companies, are now training their employees in design thinking so as to develop an innovation culture in the organization. In big companies like Infosys and TCS, this is a mandatory training for all employees. There are dozens of tools and techniques used for different stages of design thinking process. However, we will be discussing only few of them, the popular ones, because of time constraint. Let us move on to the course. These are the topics we are going to discuss during this module. Introduction to design thinking, problems suitable for design thinking, different design thinking frameworks, design thinking process basic stages, empathize, analyze, define, ideate, prototype, and test. Design thinking is a creative approach for problem solving, innovation, and product development. It provides a framework or systematic process for everyone to creatively solve problems and to come up with innovative products and solutions. It is an iterative process. It is not linear, it is iterative. How can I come up with innovative ideas? Have you ever asked this question yourself? Frequently, we read and hear about some small startups and engineering college students coming up with innovative products. For example, a team of mechanical engineering students of Amal Jyoti Engineering College introducing an innovative product for farmers to separate pepper seeds from its stem without damaging the seed, or a mechanism for tapping rubber, etc. My wife is a retired higher secondary school teacher. Whenever she reads such news in Malayalam Manorama, she starts making fun of me, saying, I also have an engineer here, that too from IIT, but there is no use. And she adds, they പിള്ളേർ ഓരോന്ന് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുന്നു, കണ്ടുപടി. I couldn't answer her yet, and I asked myself, how can I come up with innovative ideas? I dream of that day when a big apple falls on my head so that I can answer my wife. You and I can come up with innovative ideas if we consciously try to develop 4 skills: conversation, listening, observation, and thinking. Try to develop the habit of conversing with people. When you talk to people, you will be able to get a lot of inputs from them on what are the common problems they face in their day-to-day life, which may trigger an idea to solve that problem, and that may be a big idea. Similarly, when people talk to you, try to listen carefully. Develop the habit of active and effective listening. And Develop the habit of observing your surroundings. If you observe our surroundings, you will be able to notice a lot of invisible problems that are not so obvious, which may help to trigger an idea in your mind to solve such problems. And when you identify some problem around you, never discard that from your mind. Keep it in your mind. Keep on thinking on that problem, which will help you to come up with some innovative solutions for that problem. Keep on thinking. Keep it in mind always and keep on thinking about that problem, which will help you to come up with innovative solutions for that problem. One of our alumni, Mr. Nishant Ravindran, was traveling in a private bus from Alva to Paladivottam in a fine morning, and he observed a word fight between the conductor and a passenger, because passenger gave an 100 rupee note for 8 rupee ticket and conductor did not have the change, and he was very angry and he wanted the passenger to get out of the bus on the next stop. Our Nishant was observing this scene, and that triggered an idea in his mind that resulted in the birth of City on Wheels, the first prepaid card to be used in private buses, maybe the first time in India. This is the picture taken at the time of inaugurating that prepaid card by the district collector. We used in KMRL Kochi Metro as Kochi One card, and it is a intermodal transit card, first time in India. It can be used in metro railways, normal trains, buses, boats, and various other modes of transport. It can be used. You may not see its company's name, Technovia India Solutions, in the card, Kochi One card. You will see only KMRL and Axis logos. But the technology is powered by our own Nishant. Another alumni of Rajagiri, Rijin Chan, he got placed after BTech in a big company, and he was having a meeting with his boss on a fine day morning, and he observed something different in his boss' face. So after the meeting, he just had a conversation with him, and he asked him, "So I can see some difference in your face. Do you have any problems?" Then the boss replied, No, I don't have any problem. I forgot my spectacles at home. I could not go and take because of this meeting, and now I cannot go because of huge traffic in the city." That struck an idea in his mind, and that resulted in the birth of Santa Express, on-demand pickup and delivery service in Ernakulam. If you want to pick up something from somewhere, suppose you have given your chudidar for stitching to a tailor and you want to collect it back, just call them and ask them to collect the chudidar from the tailor. They will go and collect the chudidar and bring it for you at a nominal price. This is the website of Santa Express. So this idea was born just based on a conversation with his boss. This is the site. We have seen two technological ideas, but ideas need not be always technological. It could be non-technological as well. Have you seen this trunk box? Your parents might have used it long back. Now you cannot see these probably, but I had one like this when I was studying in IIT Kharagpur. And whenever I travel, I have to carry this trunk box with a lot of difficulty. First thing is I have to carry from Alleppey to Ernakulam in a bus because there was no train at that point of time. And then I have to catch a train to Chennai or Madras from Ernakulam. And when the train reaches Madras railway station, there will be a lot of rush of porters to inside the cabin, inside the coaches, and they will just take the box and go out without even asking, right? And they will create a lot of fuss after taking the luggage and ask for big money. And there were a lot of chaos at that point of time. It was very difficult for us to travel with big luggage, right? That was the scenario. Then I had to catch another train to Koramangal to go to Kharagpur, and it was all difficult, very difficult. So it was not the situation only in India, it was the global scenario. Everywhere this problem was there, right? Maybe in a slighter, lower, reduced scale, but this problem was there. Everyone has to carry this heavy bag whenever they have to travel. One of the pilot, a Southwest Airlines pilot, was carrying his bag, which was slightly heavy, through the airport, and he was finding it very difficult to carry that bag to the airport. And suddenly he noticed a worker of the airport is carrying a lot of bags in a trolley and pulling that trolley without any difficulty. Very easily he was carrying maybe 10 boxes in a trolley and moving that boxes to the airport. That triggered an idea in his mind, and he asked, why can't I have wheels for my bag? And that resulted in the trolley bag. And he resigned his pilot job and started the travel bag company called Travel Pro that introduced the first trolley bag in the world sometime late 80s, 85, after 85, I think. So it is not that old. We started seeing this only after that, right? Now it is very, very easy for us to travel with big luggage. You can just pull your bag through the airport or railway station or bus station without much difficulty. So that observation, again, it was because of an observation by a pilot in the airport that triggered this idea, which is not that highly technological. Wheel is definitely a technology invention, but it is not that complicated technology. And we can see some more innovative product that came up in the market. So this is one of the MRI scanners for children. So the inventor of the MRI scanner from GE, Doug Dietz, after inventing the MRI scanner, once he visited an hospital to see how patient experience going through the MRI scan at the hospital. So then he realized that it is not a pleasurable experience going through the MRI scanning, because there is a lot of noise and discomfort when you lie inside the scanner, even for adults. So that was the scenario. And he noticed that children face a lot of discomfort and they start crying and they move their bodies and all that when they were undergoing this MRI scan. And many times doctors had to sedate the children to make them sleep and lie down without moving. Otherwise, the scanning will not be proper. So they had to sedate children many times. So he found that very bad experience of the children going through this MRI scanner. He felt his design is not at all good MRI scanner. He felt very bad about his invention. Then he started thinking about how can I improve this product so that it will be a pleasurable experience for small children. And that resulted in this one of the designs for children called Pirate Island. There are many designs for children, MRI scan designs for children. This is one of the designs, Pirate Island. Now, even though the technology, everything is same, the noise will be there, but children will find it a little more interesting to go through this experience. Ideas could be very simple ideas, right? So all over the world, every year, a lot of pedestrians die because they don't like to wait for the green signal at the traffic crosses, at the crosses. Because of that, thousands of pedestrians die every year because they don't like to wait at the traffic signal to see the green signal. And this is a simple solution introduced for solving that problem. Dancing traffic lights.
are born to live their lives. I'm born to dance. Want me to work like a dog in a full-time job? Haha, I'm born to dance. Don't wear no coat, no tie, no shirt, and even no pants. I'm born to dance. You shaking your head? Well, I'll be shaking my ass, cause I'm born to dance. I wanna shake it and shake it and shake it, shake it and shake it, girl. Do you wanna shake it? I wanna shake it and shake it and shake it, shake it and shake it, yo. Watch me dance now.
There is another innovative solution for drinking water in a village in Andhra Pradesh.
Effective designs for social change. That's what.
Can you see this scenario? There's a scenario from a village in Tabibu, in South Tabibu in Africa. So, how many liters of water can be contained in this can? How many liters? Probably 10 liters, right? How long you can carry this 10-liter water can by yourself? May not be more than 15 minutes. But these ladies have to carry water for their household use from a distant place, and travel for about 3 kilometers, 45 minutes to reach their home every day. This they have to do every day. It was a very difficult situation for them, and somebody observed this and came up with a solution called Hippo water roller. You can see the capacity of the tank has increased. Maybe now it is 100 liters. Before it was 20 liters, probably 5 times higher than the original cans, 100 liters. But now they can carry these rollers very easily. I am thinking this. And ideas could be simple and crazy also. Sometimes the crazy ideas will be the best idea to solve a problem, right? Let us look at some solutions which may look crazy, but those were the excellent effective solution for the problem. So all of you might have seen this gents urinal in airports and shopping malls. Airports and shopping malls where you can see this product. They are the main customers of gents urinal, big shopping malls and airports. There were a lot of complaints from these customers of airport and shopping malls to the sanitary ware manufacturers, and they were facing this problem for a long time because of a lot of complaints from these customers saying that they had to spend a lot of money, and they have to employ a lot of janitors to clean gents toilet, and the expense is much higher, very higher than the ladies toilet cleaning. And that was the main complaint from customers, and they tried to solve this problem by different ways. So what could be the obvious problem that comes to your mind immediately to solve this problem? Change the shape, right? That's the obvious solution everyone will get in the beginning. So change the shape so that the urine will not spill out of the floor, right? Spill out while urinating, the urine will not spill out of the floor, out of the urinal and fall on the floor. If you change the shape, that is the common thinking that comes, obvious solution that comes to everyone's mind. So they tried different shapes, different designs. They tried to project the front side a little more. And when they tried this design, instead of reducing the problem, problem actually increased instead of reducing. So when gents see this projection, what happens is they move back little more. When they see this projection, they don't want to touch that surface, so they move back little more, and the problem increased rather than decreasing, right? Then they tried different other solutions like splash screen, so that the urine will only go in, it will not splash out. Then they tried different type of mats inside the gents urinal, but the problem still remained for a long time. And one day, one designer thought about this, and he thought, what could be the root cause of this problem? So he realized that root cause could be when gents go to the urinal, they don't have anything to do. So they feel very lazy when going to gents urinal. They will not be careful to avoid urine spillage on the floor. And because they don't have anything to do, they are lazy. So they will not be worried about, they will not be careful so that the urine will not fall on the floor. So he thought, if I give some work for them, they will focus on that work, and that will result in avoiding this problem. And he came up with a solution: fly in the gents urinal. The solution is very simple, very cheap solution. So what he did is, he etched the image of a fly inside the urinal, slightly on the top side of this drain, slightly on the left side. And after trying this solution, the problem came down to 80%, 20%, 80% of the problem was solved by this simple solution. So what happens is, when the gents see this fly inside the urinal, they like to wash it away. When they see that, they think they can wash it away, and they try to focus on that. That resulted in reducing the spillage of urine on the floor. And they tried different positions of this image, fly image. They first tried on the middle, and then they tried on the right side, and then they tried on the left side, and they somehow found that it is more effective when the fly is on the left side. I don't know the reason for that, but that was the effective solution. And this, you can see, this is a very simple, cheap solution, but solve the problem effectively. They could solve the problem effectively compared to the other solutions they tried before. If you go to Singapore airport next time, Changi airport or Schiphol airport in Amsterdam, you will see this gents urinals everywhere in the toilets in Changi airport, as well as I have seen it in Changi airport last December last year when I went there. I could watch this. Deep Vachach and his wife Rashi was on a road trip from Delhi to Jaipur in 2013, and her wife Rashi complained about dirty toilets on every bio stops during the way. And after reaching Jaipur, she had severe urinary tract infection, UTI, and she had to be taken to hospital. And that triggered a thought in his mind, Deep Vaja's mind. He realized that only ladies will have this problem because they have to touch the toilet. So they cannot just urinate like gents do. So they have to sit on the toilet seat while urinating. That creates this problem, right? So he thought about that and he came up with a solution called P-Buddy, which can be used by ladies while traveling for urinating by standing without sitting, right? So it can be so now it is free. They become free and they can urinate any place. They don't need a real toilet. It can be carried. This is a very small device. It can be carried in the bag. It can be used. There are two versions: disposable as well as reusable. Costs only less than 20 rupees, and you will get it from Amazon. And P-Buddy is the company's name, and the product name is Stanton P. So you can get it from Amazon. They have sold around 2 million pieces within 1 year of starting that company, right? So again, it is because of an observation, right? So they come up with an innovative solution for a real problem being faced by women. So what is design thinking? As I said in the introduction, design thinking is a systematic process or approach and a set of tools and techniques for identifying and solving problems and designing products and innovation. Let us look at the formal definitions given by the experts. Design thinking is a systematic and collaborative approach for identifying and creatively solving problems. Michael Lux, Innovation and Design Studio, College of William and Mary. There is a book by Michael Lux. That's the book I used for preparing this presentation. Another definition of design thinking by the president of IDEO, the global design company, one of the global design companies in the world. Design thinking is a human-centered approach to innovation that draws from the designer's toolkit to integrate the needs of the people, the possibilities of technology, and the requirements for business success. So the previous definition is very, very simple. It's a systematic and collaborative approach for identifying and creatively solving problems. Design thinking gives high focus, a very primary main focus in design thinking is to identify the problem and define the problem. If the problem is not identified correctly and completely, the solution you are going to come up with will not really solve the problem. If the problem identification is not correct, solution will also be incorrect. So the first step in coming out with a proper solution for a problem is to identify and define the problem. Then you can ideate and come up with creative solutions for solving the problem. It's a collaborative, human-centered approach. Focus should be on the humans or the users who are facing the problem. You need to empathize with them and try to understand the problem clearly. And designer will use lot of toolkits for doing all these activities to integrate the needs of the people or the requirement of the people. They will look at the various possibilities of using technology for solving the problem, and it also has the final product also has to serve the needs of business. Business is always for profit, right? So the product you are going to make should be cost effective, as well as the company should be able to sell that and make profit by selling that product. So that also has to be considered while designing the product. So designer has to consider three aspects. Needs of the people it has to serve the needs of the people, and you can exploit the technology to come up with an effective solution, and it also has to meet the needs of the business. That's the definition by Tim Brown, president of. So design thinking is a human-centered approach for problem solving. It is always user-centered. Helps us to get a deep understanding of customers' unmet needs and wants. It encourages creative consideration of a wide array of innovative solutions. So a designer looks for alternative solutions for creatively solving the problem. It is not only one solution he looks for. He tries to identify and generate alternative creative solutions for the problem, and then choose from that alternatives. The best solution is chosen from the alternative solutions. And it is a non-linear process. Even though we'll be studying as a linear process different stages, but it is not linear. It is iterative in nature. Any of these phases which we are going to see or study can be repeated any number of times to make the solution perfect. So all these phases could be repeated multiple number of times in order to make the solution perfect. So it is not a linear process, start from one point and ends in another point. It is not like that. You may come back and repeat some phases again and again till you are satisfied with the solution, till the user is satisfied with the solution. So the summary of design thinking is: design thinking enables your mind to avoid the obvious. So always look for invisible problems. Obvious problems, there may be a direct solution for that, but it is you will come up with creative solutions for problems which are invisible, not so obvious. Many times people take it for granted. Some of the problems they take it for granted, they taking care it cannot be solved, it is like that, and they continue to live with that problem, right? And that is where the designers can come up with creative solutions for solving such invisible problems. Also, when you try to find the solution for that, there will be some obvious solution for every problem, but that may not be the best solution. So always look for non-obvious solutions, or invisible solutions, not so obvious. That may be the best solution for the problem. So try to avoid the obvious. Think laterally, think differently, think outside the box. Understand the problem better, explore the possibilities of technology to solve the problem, and come up with an innovative best solution for this problem. Design thinking combines the creative and analytical thinking. It's a combination of creative thinking and analytical thinking. Our brain has two parts, left side and the right side. So these are the qualities of the left brain: analytical thinking, rational, objective, present and past, facts, there is order and pattern or logic, and planning, everything happens in the left side. Whereas right side is more creative, holistic, subjective, present and future, feelings, spatial, spontaneous feelings and emotions all happens in the right side. So there are different qualities or purpose for the left brain and the right brain. Left brain is more analytical, whereas right brain is more creative. So as a designer, you need to use both the left side brain as well as the right side brain to come up with the right solution for the problem. But many people, majority of us, left side is more active because we think logically, we think rationally. Engineers normally think logically, analytical problem solving, logical thinking. So that happens in the left side. So we were using the left brain more because of that. Left side is more active, whereas right side is not that active. Whereas if you look at an artist or a creative person, his right side brain will be more active than his left side brain. So the there is a bias, there is a tendency, there is a depending on the person who is creative or logical in nature, either their left side will be more active or right brain will be more active. Both are required for designers to come up with right solution for the problem. So when you form your design team, you need to have people with right brain active and people with left brain active. Logical thinkers as well as creative thinkers should be there in the design team, which will help in coming out with better solutions for the problem. So what design thinking is not? Many times people think that design thinking is only for creative people and product designers. That is not right. Design thinking is a approach for problem solving, and everyone involved in problem solving can use design thinking approach. It is not necessary that only creative people can use it. Everyone involved in problem solving can use design thinking approach. Engineers are problem solvers, so definitely engineers have to use design thinking in solving certain problems. People think that it is all about look and feel, aesthetic, design, craft, all that. But that is also not right. It is for providing a right solution for the problem, including the functionality, not only the form, right? Not only the look and feel of the product, the shape of the product. Product should also function correctly so as to meet the need of the customer. So it involves both function as well as form. It is not only the aesthetics or the look and feel of the product. It is just a brainstorming session. That is also a myth. Brainstorming is just one tool in design thinking process. There are dozens of tools used in design thinking. There are different phases and dozens of tools used in design thinking, and brainstorming is just one tool in ideation phase. That's it. A process by which problems can be solved in 24 hours, that is also not correct. A process to replace analytical problem solving, it will not replace analytical problem solving, it will supplement analytical problem solving approaches. A silver bullet for all types of problems, that is also not correct. Design thinking should be used only for solving certain problems. Certain type of problem, we will see which are the type of problems and which are the problems that is suitable for design thinking. If it is a common clear-cut problem, you can use normal analytical thinking, analytical solutions for solving the analytical thinking for solving that problem. No, you need not go for design thinking. So this is not design. So what are the problems suitable for design thinking? So there are three types of problems. One is called critical problem. The second type of problem is called tame problem. And the third type of problem is called critical problem, wicked problem. Critical problem, tame problem, and wicked problem. So I will explain these three types with a simple example from healthcare domain. Suppose one patient is rushed to the hospital with a cardiac arrest. So it is a critical problem. So immediately the doctors and the nurses and all the hospital staff has to do something based on their experience. Immediately, there is no time to plan and think. So I have to do whatever is possible to save that person, right? And it has to happen in a command mode. Somebody will command to do this and that to all the people, and they will do whatever is possible to save that person. That type of problems are called critical problem, where there is no time to think, there is no time to plan, there is no time to manage things in the proper way, right? Everyone has to do their part immediately without wasting any time and try to solve the problem. That is what is called, those type of problems are called critical problem. Now we will look at what is meant by tame problem. So in this hospital, there is a patient suffering with a severe complicated discharge, a female patient suffering with a complicated discharge, right? And she has lot of other problems, also heart problem, diabetic, and all pressure. All these type of problems are also there for her. So there are a lot of departments involved in treating this patient, and the main surgeon has identified the problem, the root cause of the problem, and a surgery, complicated surgery, is required for this patient to recover from the problem, right? So in that case, they will plan this surgery properly, involving all the departments: anesthesia, general medicine, surgery, uh, diabetic department. All these departments will be involved, and they will be planning the treatment for this patient and surgery for the patient, and it will happen in a planned manner, right? And somebody will be managing the entire activity of treatment, including the surgery, and the surgery will happen as per the plan, and this patient will be saved. That type of problem is called tame problem, and all these consultants or doctors are familiar with such type of problem. They had treated this type of problems before, and they know the solutions already. What are the solutions available for such type of problems, and they will be applying those solutions to save this particular patient in a planned manner, in a managed manner. So where in the case of critical, it was handled as a command and control. Here it will be handled as a management project, as a manager, right? There will be proper planning of doing things, and it will be managed in the right way. And third type of problems are called wicked problems. Suppose suddenly there is a epidemic happening like COVID pandemic, right? Or Nipah virus spreads out in the state of Kerala, and there is no previous experience of treating such viruses, and nobody has experience of treating such virus. There is not enough data available for the treatment of those type of viruses across the world. There is no data available, there is no information available, there is no expertise within the team. All that is there. So in that case, it has to be managed in a leadership way. Leader has to empower all the departments and all the people involved in this problem, and empower them, and they will identify the problem. They will try to do whatever is possible based on the experience and training, and try to solve the problem, applying different alternative solutions for solving the problem. They don't have a clear-cut solution for solving the problem. They will try various alternative. They will try to identify various alternative solutions for the problem. Think and try to identify various alternative solutions for the problem. They will try to apply alternative solutions and see whether it is effective. If it is not effective, they will try another solution. All that will happen during this. So sometimes the solution they apply may not be effective, so they try to change that solution a little bit and again apply that. So trial and error or experiment. They experiment and try to solve the problem, try to find the solution for various problems. That type of problems are called wicked problems. So is the problem human-centered? That is one question you need to ask to identify whether a problem is suitable for design thinking approach. If the problem is human-centered and there are a lot of human beings involved in facing the problem, then you need a deep understanding of the actual people involved or users involved. Then only you will be able to find the root cause as well as the solution for the problem. If the problem doesn't involve much, only few individuals, there are only few human beings involved in the problem or solution, then you can apply the normal analytical problem solving approaches to solve the problem. How clearly do you understand the problem? Is the problem clear for you, or it is not very clear for you, right? We need to, if the problem is not clear for you, we need to explore and get the agreement on the problem. Then you can use design thinking. So wicked problem, where you don't know the reason, you don't know the clear-cut solution for the problem. In that case, we can apply design thinking. If you understand the problem very clearly and are sure about the solution, then it is a tame problem. You can use normal analytical problem solving approaches. What is the level of uncertainty involved in the problem? There are many unknowns, large and small, and past data is unlikely to help us. The past is a good predictor of the future. There is not much uncertainty. Past data is good for predicting the future. In that case, you can apply analytical problem solving approaches. What data is already available to? There is very little relevant information or existing data to analyze. There are several clear sources of analogous data available which will help to solve the problem. In that case, you can go for analytical methods. So what's a wicked problem? Wicked problem is a problem that is difficult or impossible to solve because of incomplete, conflicting and changing requirements that are often difficult to recognize. The more you attempt to solve one problem, the more it reveals itself to you. More you try to solve a problem, it reveals more problems to you. That is the characteristics of a wicked problem. As you solve one problem, you will notice another problem coming up, right? That type of problems are called wicked problems. The problem grows and changes as you work on solving it. There is no single perfect solution for the problem. Whereas for a tame problem, there's a direct solution. So this is another slide. You can read that and find what are the characteristics of a designer. So when you form a design team, you need to have people with all these skills. As an individual, one person may not have all these skills. One person may be good at logical thinking, but he may not be good at creative thinking. Whereas an artist or a creative person may be good at creative thinking, he may not be good at logical thinking. One person may be good at problem solving, one person may be good at decision making. Decision making may not be good for all the people, right? So different individuals have different skills. So you need to combine people with different complementary skills and form the team. Then as a team, the design team will have all those skills required for design thinking. As a single individual team member, he or she may not have all the skills. But as a team, the team will have all that skills which we have seen to solve a problem for using the design thinking approach. So when you form the team, you need to be careful to include people with various skills, complementary skills, so that the team will be a balanced team. Ideally, the team size is also crucial when you design the design team. Ideally, it should be between 4 to 9 people. And ideal team size, people have researched and came out with the ideal team size, that is 6. And team should be balanced. Team should consist of members having complementary skills, abilities, and personality types. You should not have a team with all the people same type or personality type or same skills. It should be a balanced team. Team should be motivated. Unless the team is motivated, you will not get any solutions from the team. So it is the responsibility of the management of the company to keep the team always motivated. For that, you need to have team building exercises throughout the year, throughout the project, so that always the team will be highly motivated, so that you will get innovative solution from that motivated team. Collaborate and help each other. Team members should collaborate and what is meant by balanced team? People have done research, and HR researchers have done research and came up with different type of people that is required in a balanced team. They named these people with different role names, and those are the type of people you need to look for when you form a design team. There are people who are good at running meetings, being calm and strong and tolerant. That type of people have to be there. Those type of people are called chair, coordinator. There are people who are good at generating ideas, the plan people. There are people who are not good at generating ideas, but when somebody comes with an idea, they will be able to critically evaluate, and help you to identify the best idea. Monitor type of people. Shaper helps to direct the team's attention to important issues. There are some people who will proactively identify issues that can come in a project and warns you in advance. Shaper. Skilled at creating a good working environment. Team worker. There are people who are good at creating a friendly team environment, right? They will crack jokes in between with all the team members and make the team members happy, friendly, and collaborative, right? They may not deliver any useful work sometimes, but they act as a glue between the team members. And those type of people are also required in your team to keep the team motivated and friendly and happy. Resource investigator, there are people who are good at finding resources in terms of information as well as other physical resources. Not everyone is good in finding resources, right? If you ask two people to find something from the internet, one person find a solution for something from the internet, one person will quickly come up with a solution in 15 minutes, another person will search for 2 days and come back and say I could not find any solution. Complete finisher, very rare people. These are the type of people which is normally rare, very rare. Good at finishing, good at completing task. Complete finisher. These people is something like a perfectionist. They like to see everything finished and polished. Only 10% of people you can see like this. 90% of the time, people, when they complete 90%, they think everything is complete, and rest 10% will remain incomplete for long time in a project. That's what happens with the normal people. So if you find such a scenario, you need to take that work take their work and give it to complete finishers and ask them to wind it up. Company worker implementer, a good team player who is willing to undertake less attractive tasks if they are needed for team success. In a project, there will be a lot of different type of work. Some work may be challenging, some work may be boring, like data entry work and documentation work is boring for many people. So, but in order to complete the project, you need to do such work as well, data entry as well as documentation, which is not very challenging, which is repetitive, monotonous work, right? But you need to complete that work as well. So everyone will not be willing to take up such work. But there are some people who are willing to do any type of work for the benefit of the project and the success of the team. So that type of people are called company worker. You need to have such people also. Specialists and techies, these are the people who does R&D or research for the sake of doing it, right? Acquires knowledge, and for the sake of doing it, they keep on doing research and learning new things and all that, which may not be directly applicable or useful for the current project, which may be useful in the future project, right? But such type of people may be required in some project where you need to have some R&D or proof of concept to be developed for the solution. Apollo syndrome is a terminology that is related with the team. So if you have a team with all highly intelligent and capable people, that team will not perform as a team compared to another team with all average team members, right? So you have a team with all highly intelligent and capable people. Individually, all of them are very highly intelligent and capable. They produce work individually. And when they come as a team, the productivity of the team will naturally come down compared to with another team which is having all average team members. That is what is called Apollo syndrome. So what is happening here? What is the problem with the team with highly intelligent and capable people? There is something called ego, right? And everyone will have their own views and decisions. And it will be very difficult for a leader or a project manager to take decision and move forward in such a type of team. So the team productivity will normally be less than another team of average team members. This term has come from the success of Apollo 11 project, after the Apollo 11 project of NASA. So after the success of Apollo 11 project, everyone thought they did a good job. Everyone thought everyone thought he or she is the one who played a major role in the success of the project. That was the thinking of everyone. So they were not ready to give credit for the work of other members. They thought, I am the one who played a key role in the success of the project. And one person even announced that publicly, saying that I'm the one who played a key role for the success of the project. And he said, during the last few weeks of the project, every engineer and the scientist had to work day and night without sleep for many days. And I'm the one who supplied coffee and tea to keep them awake. So he was not ready to give credit for the people for the success. He thought he is the one who played a key role. He is also right? Everyone, that is also important. He is also right. But others also, you need to credit others or give credit for the work done by others as well. So that should be the mentality of a team or team members, right? The Apollo syndrome should not be there. Wisdom of crowd. That is another terminology related to team. A team with people from different domains, different experience, different background will do better than a team of experts in just one domain. Crowd means a team with people from diverse domains can do better than the experts. Diversity within the group or a random group leads to better result because they will have different experiences. They will be thinking in different directions. Suppose a team is trying to solve a problem. The similar problem might have come in different domains and they had solved that problem before using some approach, which may not be familiar with another expert from a different domain. So when people from different domains come together as a team, they would be able to solve wicked problems because all of them will be thinking in different directions and that will lead to better solutions. So always get new people in your team from different domains. That will result in generating ideas which are totally out of the box. Also move people between groups for better results. Never keep the same set of people in a team for a long time. Try to switch people to different groups. That will make the team more productive over a period of time. Crowd actually thinks in different angles to solve a problem and therefore come up with a good. MBTI, Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, is a very simple tool, a set of questionnaire to assess the personality type or psychological type of individuals, assessing them in 4 dimensions and classify them into 16 personality types. So it is always better to understand the personality type of each individual team members. And when you form a team, it would be better if you can have people of different personality type in the team. Instead of all people belonging to the same type, it is always better to have people of different personality type forming a team. That would be a balanced team. So these are the different dimensions based on which the personality, this MBTI test classifies people. One dimension is extroversion, introversion, EOI. Whether the person is an extrovert or an introvert. All of us are inclined to one of these, extroversion or introversion. That is, nothing is bad. If a person is introvert, that is not bad. There are a lot of good qualities for introvert as well. Similarly, extrovert also. If you look at a team, a project, you can see there will be a lot of work which has to be done individually. Similarly, there will be a lot of group work or teamwork. An extrovert will be highly productive when you work in a team, whereas introverts will always like to work alone. And so introvert will be much productive in an individual work than an extrovert. So in a project, you will have both type of work, individual work as well as teamwork. So if introverts will be highly productive in the case of individual work, whereas in the case of teamwork, extrovert will be productive. So you need to have both type of people in a team. That is one dimension. Second dimension is sensing and intuition. Usually people sense or perceive information using senses. What you see, what you hear, what you feel, all that will give you a lot of information around the surroundings. But there are some people who perceive information from their intuition. So that way we can classify people whether the person is perceiving information using senses, what they see and what they hear, or they are receiving information from intuition, S or N. And once you receive the information, based on that, you will take decisions, right? Some people will be basing their decision purely on the information they receive. They think about the information received and analyze the information, and then take the decisions. They may not consider the feelings of others while taking decision. Whereas some people, they don't depend purely on the information received. They will also consider the feelings of other people. They are people-oriented people, people-oriented personality. So that is thinking and feeling. And there are certain people who are good at taking decisions. So once you receive the information, you will people will either think or consider the feelings of others and then take decisions. Some people are good at taking decisions. Once they get all information, they will take decision very fast. But there are certain people who are not good at taking decision. They try to get more and more information and delay the decision, perception. They try to perceive more and more information. So those type of people are called judgment or perception. Whether they are good at taking decision or they delay the decisions and try to collect more and more information, perception, J and P. So these are the 4 dimensions based on which MBTI test classify people into 16 different personalities. So this is a summary of what I discussed, 4 dimensions. And 16 personality types will be like this. So each letter, first letter is E or I, second letter is S or N, third letter is T or F, fourth letter is J or P. Based on that, there will be 16 combinations. So ISTJ, IFSJ, INFJ, like that. So the description of that type of personality is also given in the boxes. So if a person is ISTJ, he will be responsible, sincere, analytical, reserved, realistic, systematic, hardworking, and trustworthy, and with sound practical judgment. Similarly, for each type of personality, what is the characteristics of that person is described in the box. So before you form a team for students team for doing the design project, it would be better to give this as an exercise for them to test the personality type, and when they form the team, you can ensure that the team members are of different personality type. If there are two persons of the same type, it is better to switch that person to another team. That will form a balanced team. So these are the rules to be followed while taking this test. Answer the question honestly. Each question, there are 70 questions. Each question has 2 options, A and B. Answer the question honestly. There are no right or wrong answers. Answer the questions as what you are right now and not what you would like to be in future, right? And this is a sample scoring sheet of MBTI test. So each question has 2 options. So depending on which option you have chosen for each question, tick the appropriate answer. Then sum the columns. Take the sum of all columns. And in the case of column 1, exactly the same total can be used to assess whether you are E or I. Column 2 total has to be copied to column 3 below the column 3 total, and then take a sum of these two. You get the total, and that will decide whether you are sensing or intuition, whichever is higher, that will be your type. So, and column 4 total, copy to the total of column 5 below the total of column 5, and take the sum of them, 17 and 3. So take the look at the highest, and that will be your type, thinking or feeling. So in this case it is 17 and 3, so thinking. Column 7 total has to be copied below column 7 and take a sum, 17 and 3. So 17J is the personality type. So your personality type is ISTJ. So you can look at the sample. You can take this as a reference for scoring, how to score, and do the MBTI test and score and determine your personality type. These are the reference books used for preparing this presentation. Michael Lux, Design Thinking; Kevin Otto and Christine Wood, Product Design; and Product Design and Development, Carl Ulrich and Stephen D. Eppingham. Questions? Thank you very much.